Hello, my name is Joshua Mugabi. I welcome you to topic 10.2, sexual reproduction in plants. We are on learning outcome F. Recognize the structures and the types of fruits and seeds and relate their structures to the method of dispersal. Types of fruits and seeds. Item 1. Let's look at the methods of dispersal. The teacher brings a variety of fruits and seeds to class. Learners work in small groups to observe, touch, and examine each specimen using a hand lens. Task: observe and identify the physical structures of each fruit/seed specimen. We have the wings. They are flat extension on seeds. For example, in maple, if you look at this diagram here, you will see these two structures. These are wings, and our seed is over here. So it has got flat extensions which are in form of wings. Then we have hair/feathery structures. These ones we can see them on tree ducts and desmodium. This is our tree ducts. When you look at it, you see hair-like structures, those ones, which we call pampas hair or parachute. And then here above we have, this is desmodium. If you look very closely to it, you will see that it has got hair-like structure which resemble like feathery-like structure on the surface. Then we have hooks/spines. These ones can be found on blackjack seeds. We have our blackjack seed here, and it has got these ones that we see here. Those are hooks, and this is a blackjack seed or fruit. Then we have the fresh pericarp. This can be found in mangoes, tomatoes, and guavas. So here we have the tomato and the mango. This outer layer is an exocarp. Inside there is a mesocarp. And then we have the endocarp. All of them, they make up what we call a pericarp, and that pericarp is fresh. Then we have the fibrous buoyant husks. This can be found in coconut. So when you have a nut here, it has fibrous structures, and this one is found in coconuts. Then we have the dry pod that split. Example, we have castor oil and the legume. These two here, we have the legume and castor oil. When you look at castor oil, you will see lines of weaknesses. That's where it splits and opens. And then the bean also has two lines of weakness on the upper side of the pod and on the lower side. Those are the dry pod. Classify each specimen into a type of fruit or seed. We have some fruits here and also seeds. We have the fresh fruits. These ones include the drupes and the berry. This one here is a tomato. Tomato is a berry. And this one is a mango. A mango is a drupe. Then we have the dry dehiscent fruits. We have the pods and the capsule. Dry dehiscent, these are fruits which split open when they are dry. And here we have the capsule and the legumes. These are dry dehiscent fruits. They have lines of weaknesses, and when they are dry, they split open and release the seeds. Then we have the dry indehiscent fruits. Here we have the achins and the grains. We can have here our Biden pilosa, blackjack, and the maize fruit. These ones, when they are dry, they do not open to release the seed, and we call them dry indehiscent fruits. Use structure clues to determine the method of dispersal for each, and explain how the observed structures help the seed achieve dispersal. We have the structure observed, the fruit or seed, example, method of dispersal, and explanation of how the structure helps the seed to achieve dispersal. Now the structure here which we are looking at first is the parachute, which is like hairs. These ones we can find them in dandelions. And the method of dispersal is by wind. What happens is that this structure makes the seed to be light with air float on air current. So these parachute hair-like structures help the seed to float on air. Then there are other observed structures like the wings. And these ones, we can observe them in pine seeds and maple. The method of dispersal is by wind. And how do wings help in the seed dispersal? The wings, they act like gliders. They are the ones that are going to be blown by the air so that the seed can move from one place to another place. We have another structure, cotton fibers. Cotton fibers. And these ones, we find them in cotton seed. And they are going to use wind as a method of dispersal. What the fiber does, it increases the surface area for floating. As the seed is flying in air, the fibers are acting as an increase of the surface area so that they can be acted upon by the wind to be carried from the parent to other areas. Then we have the hooks stroke the spines. These ones we can find them in blackjack. And the method of dispersal is by animals. So how do the hooks and spine help in the dispersal of the seed? This one attach to fur and the clothes, and then they can be carried from the parent place to other areas. We have another structure, which is the bright, fresh, edible part. And these ones we can find them in mangoes, guavas, tomatoes, and many other. The method of dispersal is by animals. How does the bright, fresh, edible parts enable the seed dispersal? The animal eats the fruit and it drops or passes out the seeds elsewhere away from the parent plant. Then we have other structures which are fibrous husks and air spaces. These are common in coconut, and the method of dispersal is by water. How do these fibrous husks and air spaces enable the dispersal of the seeds? These enable the seed to float for long distances on water. Then we have other structures like the hard indigestible seed coat. These ones, we find them in avocado seed, jackfruit seeds. The method of dispersal is by animals. How does the hard indigestible seed coat help in the dispersal of the seed? These protect the embryo during digestion so that the embryo is not digested. Then we have another structure which are dry pod bursting. These ones, we find them in castor oil and cowpeas. The method of dispersal is explosive. So how does this dry pod bursting assist the seed in dispersal? The pod contracts and it splits, meaning it opens, thereby throwing the seeds away from the parent. In brief, the structure of a seed determines how it is dispersed. Seeds with the hairs or wings, these are dispersed by wind because they are light and can float in air. Fruits with the hooks, these attach to animal for dispersal. And the fresh fruits, these ones attract animals which eat them and scatter the seeds. Then the seeds with fibrous husks, they float on water. The dry pods, these bursts open and scatter seeds by explosive mechanism. Let's look at this table also. We have the fruits and the seed. We have the key structures. We have the types of fruit and seed, likely dispersal method, and reason. We have the mango. The key structures here is the fresh mesocarp. And the type of fruit is a fresh fruit, which is a drupe. The likely dispersal method is by animal, and the reason is that it attracts the animals to eat the fruit. Then we have the coconut. Coconut, the key structure is the fibrous husk. The type of fruit, it is a dry fruit. And the dispersal method is by water. Reason, the husks enables floating. Then we have cotton seed. Cotton seed, this one, the key structure are long fibers. Type of seeds, these are seeds, and likely it is dispersed by wind. It has got fibers that act as parachute. Then we have the blackjack seed and fruit. This one has key structure at the hooks. The type of the fruit is a dry seed. and it is dispersed by animals, whereby the hooks attach to the fur and clothes. Then the castor oil, the key structure are the dry pod. Type of fruit, it is an indehiscent fruit. It is a fruit which opens when it is dry. And dispersal method is by explosive. The pod bursts to eject seeds. Seed dispersal. Item 2. Importance of seed dispersal. During a biology field study, senior 4 learners visit the school compound and nearby community gardens. They observe different plants shedding fruits and seeds. For example, mangoes, jacaranda, pods, bidens, and guava. The teacher asks them to examine how these seeds are scattered away from the parent plant. Tasks. Identify at least 4 different types of seed dispersal seen in the field. There is wind dispersal, animal dispersal. This includes the external and internal. We have water dispersal and self-explosive dispersal. For each type, explain the structure of the fruit seed that enables that method of dispersal. Let's start with wind. Seeds of jacaranda and pine, they have wings or lightweight structures. Seeds of cotton and dandelions, these have hairy, fluffy papas that increase buoyancy. Then we have animal dispersal, external. Here we have the blackjack seed. These have hooks like spines, and these cling to fur or clothes. Then we have animal dispersal internal. We have, for example, the guavas and the mango fruits. These are sweet and fresh. They attract animals which swallow and disperse the seeds through defecation. Then we have water dispersal. Under water dispersal, we have the coconut. It has fibrous, buoyant mesocarp. that floats on water. We have the explosive mechanism. Here we look at castor oil and legumes. These fruits have dry pods that will split open violently, throwing seeds away from the parent plant. Give one advantage of seed dispersal to a plant population. Seed dispersal reduces competition for light, nutrients, water, space between the young seedlings and the parent plant. Then other things can be seed dispersal helps in the colonization of the new habitats. And then it also helps in species survival. And it leads to reduction in disease spread. Seed dispersal, item 3. Seeds in the laboratory. A biology class collects seeds of cotton, maize, castor oil plant, mango, coconut, and blackjack in groups. They classify them according to dispersal methods and identify adaptations. Tasks. Classify the seeds according to their method of dispersal. Wind. Cotton is dispersed by wind. We have coconut. This one is dispersed by water. The mango, guavas, and blackjack, they are dispersed by animals. Then we have castor oil. This is dispersed by explosive mechanism. And we have avocado and jackfruit. They are dispersed by gravity. Describe the key features that enable dispersal for cotton, coconut, blackjack, castor oil. Cotton has long hair fibers, and these increase the surface area, which facilitate to be lifted by wind currents. Then we have coconut. Coconut has fibrous husks. It is waterproof. This makes it to float on water. We have blackjack. Blackjack has barbed hooks or spines. These stick to the animal fur and human clothes. Then we have castor oil. Castor oil, these are dry capsules which split explosively and they cause the seed to be ejected far away from the parent plant. Seed dispersal, item 4. We are looking at the importance of seed dispersal. Alana asks why a mango tree produces many fruits, yet only some seedlings grow far from the tree. The teacher uses this to introduce the importance of dispersal. Tasks. Explain 3 reasons why seed dispersal is important to plants. One, it reduces competition between the parent plant and the seedlings for light, nutrients, water, and space. 2, it enables colonization of new areas. This increases the chance of survival of the species. 3, it reduces the spread of pests and diseases that may attack seeds clustered around the parent. This promotes genetic diversity and prevents overcrowding. Seed dispersal, item 5. We're looking at the importance of seed dispersal. Learners note that seedlings under a big avocado tree do not survive well. They explore the role of dispersal in successful seedling growth. Tasks. Suggest why many seeds under the avocado tree fail to germinate or survive. 1, competition for light causes shading. 2, competition for nutrients and water. Accumulation of pests, diseases, or toxic chemicals. And there is overcrowding. Explain how seed dispersal helps solve this problem. Seeds move away, face less competition, increasing survival chances. It enables the establishment of favorable microhabitats. It reduces the transmission of pathogens from parents to offsprings. Seed dispersal item 6. We are looking at the importance of seed dispersal. Task. For each of the dispersal methods, list one example plant, 2 structural adaptations, 1 importance of that dispersal type. Wind. Example, we have cotton and pine. Adaptation, they are lightweight, they have wings and hair. Importance, this enables wide dispersion. We have the method of water. This one, example is coconut. Adaptation, fibrous husks and waterproof. Importance, colonization of water-rich habitats. Another method is by animals. Examples, we have the guavas and the mangoes. Adaptation, they are fresher fruits. They have hooks or spines. Importance, it promotes survival via long distance dispersal. Then we have the explosive. Explosive, we have the castor oil. Adaptation, they are dry pods with high tension. Importance, this scatters seeds far from the parent. Skills required. Observation skills using hand lenses, identifying structures. Another skill required is classification skill, the types of fruits and seeds. There is the analytical skill, whereby you are linking the structures to dispersal. There is the recording skill, the tables and labeled sketches, and the communication skills, presenting your findings to the class. Thank you very much for participating in topic 10.2, sexual reproduction in plants. We have been looking at learning outcome F. Recognize the structures and the types of fruits and seeds and relate their structures to their methods of dispersal. Please visit me at Mugabi Joshua Biology on YouTube. Please do like, share, and subscribe.